an airplane, but it'll do. All right. Oh, you guys all know the beard, Mr. Jim Baichtal. We're up here black bear hunting, and tomorrow we're gonna head out. And this, I just gotta tell everyone right away, Jim, that some people, Alaska publishes who the lucky tag winners are.
Huh.
So a group, Lindell Boats out of Seattle, gets a hold of me and says, hey, we got a boat up there. Would you guys stay on it and film on it while you're bear hunting? We've done the tents, we've done the Forest Service cabins, we've done all the roughing it. So, folks, I am sorry, but this is my 1 year of bear hunting indulgence. And when I called Jim, I'm like, hey, Jim, how would you feel if we stayed on a 42-foot Lindell boat?
I just smiled.
Yeah.
I've done the camping.
So we're at Jim's house tonight, and tomorrow we'll get everything organized, loaded up. And if Jim will indulge us, he might even let us film a little bit of his world-class museum of taxidermy mounts in this house.
Best I can do to honor those that I've hunted.
It's impressive.
I used to be the chairperson of the East Prince of Wales Game Advisory Committee, and a bunch of regulations came in on bear baiting, and I'd never done it, so I thought I would try it. And I had this bear come in to my bait that was a giant, and he wouldn't come in. I had a flintlock. He wouldn't come into the bait. He was off to the side rubbing on this tree, and I got down out of my tree stand, and I went over, and I got about 15, 20 yards from him, and I fired at him, and he dropped. And I thought, we shouldn't have done that. That's not where I aimed. But he just didn't quiver or anything. So I thought, well, I'm just going to go around these little trees and come in from behind him. And I reloaded the muzzleloader, and I came up, and he was gone. Oh. And I searched for him for days. I went in morning after morning looking for birds, anything. The next year, I go and put a stand up at the same place, and I thought, just by chance would this bear come back. And this huge bear walks in one day, laid a paw on the base of my stand and looked at me, went over to the bait, and this time I had my Hawken and I fired, and he went about 30 yards and died.
Wow.
When I skinned out the skull, there was a 58 caliber round ball from the previous year. I had hit him in the neck, and it had turned 90 degrees and hit right here and shattered his skull. You could still see the weave of the pillow ticking in the back of the round ball where it smashed into his skull.
Oh, wow.
1 year to the date at the same spot.
So that created all that damage.
All that damage, and he lived. And he was fine.
And you want to wonder how tough a bear is.
You want to know how tough a bear is.
Holy smokes.
Crazy. That's a huge bear.
Giant.
Where did that end up?
It was 20-something.
Yeah.
20-something. Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
Like, to think about an animal surviving that kind of damage.
That's just unbelievable.
With meat content inside the crab?
They were packed.
Pretty light.
My wiping rod and my muzzleloader weighs that much.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Well, visit him that way.
Yeah. My goodness.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. This is Mr. Jim Baichtal.
Jim, good to meet you,
Heard
sir.
a lot about you.
Nice
And
to
this
meet you.
is
Jace.
Jace.
Hey,
Nice to meet you.
how you doing?
So
Awesome. Let's go have some fun. Always.
we were here to have fun. That's what we came for.
Yeah.
Look at that thing. Wow.
He's got bigger winky than mine.
Yeah, that's.
Wow.
That is 1,200 ponies.
You.
Wow. Whew, look at this thing. Jim, I think you should be you should get one like this.
Yeah.
You'll need a little bit bigger thing than
Let me have you call Karen here. So when we had the big 7.5 earthquake out there, it gave you some kind of experience and a love for this place.
Yeah, this is a special place.
Man. And I've run off and joined the circus.
Sure, I just couldn't go throw a sleeping bag on a wet beach someplace. This really feels that.
Oh yeah, out of character. Yeah, there's all those great days on the beach. Well, the logistics are changing a little bit. We just went over there and we met up with Frank from Lindell Boats, and we're launching Jim's smaller boat that we'll be hunting out of. And with that, we're gonna launch this here, and then we're gonna go and meet Frank. And I'm gonna jump in with Frank, and Jim's gonna follow us out to a moorage or an anchorage, and we're gonna hunt a little this evening probably, but that's kind of gonna be our deal. The big boat is base camp, and then the smaller boat is what we're gonna hunt out of.
Oh, he's got counter rotators.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
had
noticed
on
that
my
right
radar.
away. I'm like, this isn't your typical downstream operation here.
Water. Got it. You want me to buy it? You got water? Can't believe somebody- So you've got.
Individual owners.
Okay.
Yeah. They're all semi-custom.
What's that, a link?
Yes.
Big predators.
That is just a serious predator from years ago.
All right, folks, we're leaving base camp, and Frank is the guy in charge of base camp here. He works for Lindell Boats. He knows what he's doing. So we're gonna leave him in charge of the real operation, and Jim promised me just around the bay, there's a 20.5-inch Bruin standing over there that's been waiting for 2 days for us to show up. So
Bears, as many as stars in the sky.
as many as stars in the sky. Well, if you're
They're gonna
half
walk out on the beach and say, "Take me, Randy Newberg,
yeah,
take me."
well, if you're mostly blind like I am, you look up, you don't see any stars in the sky. So
It's that 450 pounder.
there you go. But I'm here, folks. I know some of you are wondering what the deal is with my hand. They let me take my brace off the other day, but I'm not going to make an excuse already. But I'm not supposed to lift more than 5 pounds, which means Jim and Jace have offered to do the gutting and gilling, which they've been talking about that. I said, well, let's not get the cart that far ahead of the horse yet. You know, we got to get one on the ground before we got to worry about the gutting and gilling. So wish us luck. Frank, we'll see you in a while.
Have fun, fellas.
Guaranteed. As long as they don't fall in. Well, everybody else puts stuff in my office. I think we got more Marcus's taxidermy in the office than mine. And I own the building.
Karen goes, well, what are you going to do with all those deer when you die? And I went, I don't care.
Yeah, not going to be your problem.
There's geese. So there's no bears right around the geese, I can tell you that.
You know how many times up here I've seen bears near geese, and then you go start your stalk and all of a sudden the geese are and then the bear looks up and runs off.
It means I'm old. It means I don't have to pay.
Big bear. Way in the back there. He was not there before.
Oh yeah, it wasn't there.
I can see him walking.
Oh, that's a huge bear.
What's that?
That's a huge bear.
Yeah.
We want to go right back over here. The wind's coming right at us.
Yeah. Perfect.
Looks like a big one. Great big one. Is that a big one, Jim?
Big enough.
Jim says big enough, then, you know,
We're going to get closer.
Oh, he says we're going to get closer. Muzzle loader close.
Well, not that close.
This would be crazy if we shot at the first one we saw. But it looks like a big bear. What do? You can't help that.
Have your that is a great big one.
That's a big bear. Holy crap. I don't know, folks. This is the first bear we saw. And he's a really nice bear. He's big, has no rubs. Man. Right now he's 530. We might have to just wait for him to go up into there and we'll follow him around. Or we just get right here and get closer and see what he does. Dang. It's a boar. I mean, you can just see him and his big, long neck. And what he's doing, he's just lifting up these, every little rock that he thinks he can maybe find something underneath. He's lifting it up and digging around under there. I mean, if you told me before we came up here that I was gonna shoot a bear that big, I would have been like, come on. All right, I say we get to this next clump here, and we make a plan from there.
him. Right there, that's how you can tell a boar. He's looking at us and his front legs are way outside. And he's got a head about that wide. And his ears are little buttons right over here. I gotta shoot that thing, folks. I am sorry that I might shoot the first bear of the trip. He's got a little bit of rub on his back leg, but that's it. Yeah, he's still there. Got a perfect wind, but we can't get across this sloppy mud flat. Oh, with it, we're gonna try it. We got 5 days on. Had his head down and he was feeding. And then when he turned and he started coming towards us, it's like, uh-oh, I better get ready. I think he saw me or heard me when I started taking my pack off. That was a big bear. I was gonna shoot, but that's a mood issue right now. Oh, dang. This guy is kind of a standard. That was fun. That's why you come to Southeast Alaska. Get the stock on a big old bear like that. That was cool. There's the old theory, if you're going to screw it up on a big one. Huh?
That's true.
And then I have the other theory. If you are going to shoot one on the first day, make sure it's the most exciting stock your audience has ever seen. All right, JC, jump in there, I'll push us off. Well, I'm just here to announce to the world that if I see him next time at 118 yards and he's lollygagging and I'm not lollygagging, I think the next time I see him, the lollygag and the suspense for, well, just trying to get the most out of the hunt, right? You don't want to just walk up there and because we could have marched out there a little quicker and not messed around so much, but.
Let's go have some dinner.
All right, Jace, you ready to go have some dinner?
Oh yeah.
Well, here it is, folks, from Southeast Alaska. First day of adventure. We're just barely even getting started. And we almost killed a bear. A big one. We're gonna go kill him tomorrow or the next day. I bet you any money, Jim, I end up, if I'm gonna shoot a bear, it's gonna probably be that one. Of course, he said, oh, we're saving the
We're
good.
just going to leave you on that beach, and Jason and I are going to go hunting.
That's fine. Just leave me there with the GoPro and my cell camera or cell phone. That's the only reason, if you got Verizon, that's the only reason you bring your cell phone to Alaska is to take pictures. Stay tuned for brats.
I'll be darned.
Encapsulated.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Those rods are wonderful for kings.
Okay.
10 minutes from Big Harbor. We're going to have a 30-pound halibut to never go do it.
Yeah, how does this compare to the usual arrangements out
Oh,
here?
let me tell you, folks. Normally, I'm sleeping in a wet tent right about now, trying to figure out how do I get my clothes dry tomorrow. But tonight, I'm laying in a queen-size bed. Got a pillow. Got all this room to stretch out. Oh, man. Hope I don't snore, Jace. I usually only snore if my sinuses are messed up. Or that's what my wife tells me anyhow. If I snore, elbow me.